Kids 24/7 radio. Angry Kids 24/7 radio. Stephon Devereux show here on Angry Kids 24/7 radio. I want to thank you for joining me today. Shout out to my man Emmanuel Sanders, former wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers, current wide receiver for the Denver Broncos, and proved me right again. He did prove me right again. If you remember last week, did a video talking about the situation between Ben Roethlisberger and Antonio Brown. And a lot of people was giving me heat for that, saying, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. Well, because I put some of that blame, actually I put more than 50% of that blame on Ben Roethlisberger. Because I said Ben Roethlisberger is not a good leader. He's not a good leader, and I was not the first person to say that. Emmanuel Sanders said that some years ago when he left Pittsburgh to go to the Denver Broncos. But today on the NFL Network, he did put some blame on Antonio Brown, who does deserve some blame. He said that Antonio not showing up on Wednesday and Thursday, I kind of left a bad mark on him, and he says he deserves some blame. Now, I'm just paraphrasing, of course. But the thing that caught my attention was the words he said about Ben Roethlisberger. And he did reiterate. This is why he said what he said when he left Pittsburgh when he did. Ben Roethlisberger is not a great leader. Ben Roethlisberger is not a great leader. How many times I have to tell people that? Ben Roethlisberger is not a great leader. I'm being called racist for saying that Ben Roethlisberger is not a great leader. You can just sit back and watch how this team function with Ben Roethlisberger as the head of this team. There's no discipline. Yes, we can put some of that on Mike Tomlin, but guess what? A lot of this is happening on offense. You're going to tell me Ben can't pull his old lineman to the side and say something about the false starts, the holding calls? You can't tell me that Ben Roethlisberger can't take James Conner to the side and say, bruh, these fumbles. Oh, he can't do that. You know why? Because he can't even do it for himself. Ben Roethlisberger cannot do it for himself. These interceptions that is costing our team games. Emmanuel Sanders said it himself. The man goes on the radio and he throws everybody else under the bus but himself. I had people try to debate me on Facebook and show me quotes that Ben Roethlisberger said where some of this is my fault. Some of this is his fault. He never takes blame for everything, even if it's not his fault. True leaders like Tom Brady. I never hear Tom Brady throwing anyone under the bus. It's a true leader. Never heard Peyton Manning do it. Never hear Drew Brees doing it. I've heard Brett Favre do it. I've heard Aaron Rodgers do it. These are diva quarterbacks with Super Bowl rings. Now look, don't get me wrong. I respect Ben Roethlisberger. Love Big Ben. One of the top quarterbacks in the league today since he's been in the league. And it's been, 15, 16 years? He will end up in the Hall of Fame. But, hey, this is not a narrative that I am out here creating. This was created before I said a word about Ben Roethlisberger being a bad leader. Do Antonio Brown, does he deserve some of this? Yes, he does. But I'm going to be honest with you. That 65% goes on Ben. This is his team. It's been here the longest. The longest Steeler. This is his team. No one has been here longer than Ben Roethlisberger. Who's been here longer than Ben Roethlisberger on his team besides the GM, the owners? Now you're going into the organization. I'm talking team. This is Big Ben's team. It's his job to put himself in a better position. Put his team in a better position offensively. It's his job. And when you hear statements from former players like Emmanuel Sanders, former Steelers like Emmanuel Sanders, He has a ring on his finger. He's won a ring since he's left Pittsburgh. I remember when people said he wouldn't. Well, he got himself a ring. Oh, yeah, he chilling now. He going to tell you how he feels because he's a Super Bowl champion. Yes, Ben Roethlisberger is a 2-time Super Bowl champion. Yes, he has all the stats that says he should be a Hall of Famer. But if we just go by this year, Ben Roethlisberger, yes, he has all the stats. But he's not a playoff quarterback, though. 5,000 yards equals no playoffs for Ben Roethlisberger. It's funny. Pat Mahomes got 5,000. He's chilling in the playoffs. Ben Roethlisberger does not have... Let me say this. Ben Roethlisberger has never been in any type of MVP conversation. It's never. Never. I don't hold that against him. But the thing I will hold against him is I never in my life, as a Steeler fan, watching Ben Roethlisberger, I've never heard someone say, well, he's a great leader. Never. Now, you can prove me wrong. If you can find that quote, you can send it to me. You can email me, or you can leave it in the comments below. But go check out what Emmanuel Sanders said. And I just want to say thank you again for proving me right. Emmanuel Sanders. That's the Stephon Devereux Show. Angry Kids 24/7 Radio. It's your man, Stephon Devereux. I'm out.